Go. It is Monday. It is the first day of the week to kick things off, to get yourself back on course. I myself, like I was telling you guys earlier, I got to get back on course. I've had a great week. I mean, we were in Aruba. I spoke for an amazing company, Cambridge Investments, and just fantastic. The long-haired admiral and I went down there early. We spent a couple of days, and I will admit, man, we ate unhealthy, and we enjoyed the Caribbean tasty beverages around the pool. And then from there, I went to a buddy's 20-year retirement, where I will have to admit that the drinks were flowing. So I am off course, which happens. It happens to all of us. Just remember, it's never too late to get back on course. So, of course, what did I do? Well, on Sunday, I busted out my compass and I said, you got to get back on course, man. Got to get that nutrition dialed back in. You got to get your workouts back on point. And, of course, you got to have the mindset to crush it with those three components: leadership, discipline, and the overcome mindset. Those three things, the trifecta of moving the needle in your life. So, all right, it is March. What are we talking about this month for Monday Muster? We are talking about spiritual leadership. Spiritual leadership is the highest level of the Pentagon Peak Performance. And for those of you that may not be familiar with the Pentagon Peak Performance, you can check it out in my book, Overcome, or you can check it out in my online course, 72 Hours to Peak Performance. And it talks about those three things, how critical it is to implement those three things in your life. So this month in March, I want to be talking about spiritual leadership. What is spiritual leadership? Spiritual leadership is a couple of different things, but probably the biggest thing is your ability to get outside of yourself. Your ability to, one component is your ability to give back to others, to understand that, the pain, the suffering. As humans, we have a natural tendency to focus on ourselves. Hey Siri, stop doing whatever you're doing. I don't know why my Siri keeps kicking in. You are wrong, Siri. But your ability to, as humans, we have a natural ability to focus on ourselves and pain, suffering, problems, adversity, everything that we're going through. And we oftentimes fail to look at the world around us or the impact of people around us. And this is where spiritual leadership, if you are giving back, if you are volunteering, maybe philanthropic support, charitable support, volunteering, all these different things, that gives you spiritual leadership, or that is strong spiritual leadership. And the other part of it is, how do we get outside of our mind? And spiritual leadership, and we'll talk more about this later: meditation, breathing exercises, yoga, faith. I mean, faith is a big part for me of my spiritual leadership, for a lot of others out there. Whatever it is, it is your ability to get outside your own head. One of the most powerful things you have in spiritual leadership, one of the most powerful things you can have on any Monday, if you're like, oh my God, it's Monday, we got to change that mindset. And the biggest thing that makes that difference is perspective. Perspective. So most people in this life have poor perspective. The problems that they have, the things that they see, the issues that they deal with. Perspective is our ability to see the world, not necessarily directly through our eyes, but to see the world through the lens of others around us. Because the reality is, the problems that you have pale in comparison to the majority of people in this world, especially if you're listening to this and you grew up here in the United States of America. We are blessed. We have so much freedom and opportunity. Even our poorest areas of the country do better than the poorest areas of the world. And it just, that's poor perspective when I watch people who are bitter or angry or are torqued up over something that happened in their day, which really is not a big deal. One of the biggest places I see examples of poor perspective is in airports. And you guys know I fly all the time, man. I am on airplanes 2 or 3 times a week on average. And it's fascinating to me to watch people when they fly, because, if you fly enough, you know that there's going to be delays. It's just probably 1 out of 3 flights that I fly on has a delay for whatever reason, whether it's weather related, whether it's mechanical, whether sometimes, they'll have one flight that is delayed getting in, and the crew from that plane was supposed to be on your plane, and without the full crew, they can't fly. They have to wait. So you just take it in stride, man. You just know, hey, perspective, because I know how this world works, the airline world, sometimes it can be delayed, but I watch people who don't fly that often who get terribly upset when things go wrong. And it's really almost comical to me, because not only do they get upset, they get downright angry. And oftentimes I will see this the most when you're in one of those situations where you're on the, you're waiting to get on the plane, and finally you've been delayed, and finally they put you on the plane. But even when they do that, I can see the signs that this plane's probably not going to take off. They're waiting for a crew member, or oftentimes it's a mechanical part. They're waiting for a mechanical part. Everybody gets on the plane. We're all sitting there waiting, and you can feel the tension grow with the people around you. And they're getting angrier and angrier. And then all of a sudden, it happens. Pilot comes across the intercom and he goes, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but we were unable to get that part that we needed, and because of that, we're going to have to get a new plane. I'm going to have you deplane. You're going to have to go to customer service. You're going to have to rebook. I'm terribly sorry. And it is in that moment, like a teapot boiling on the stove, I watch people lose their minds. They get up in a huff, and they're grabbing their stuff, and they're like, oh my God, this is so terrible. And they make this phrase, and I guarantee every one of you have used this phrase probably within the last week. Some of you might have even used it this morning on this Monday. And the phrase is this: oh my God, what a bad day. I always laugh when I hear that. I chuckle inside, because I'm like, really? Really? Is it really a bad day? Is it really a bad day? And I want to be like, hi, I'm Jason. Tell me about it. Talk to me about your bad day. Talk to Papa. I want to hear about it. Tell me why your day right now is so bad. And 95% of the time, they give me this sob story that really, in the grand scheme of things, is nothing. It is a schedule disruption. They thought that their day was going to unfold in a certain manner, that they were going to land at a certain time, and they were going to get on their way, whether they were going to go to their meeting, or whether they were going to see their grandkids, or whether they were going to get on their vacation, and it didn't. It is a schedule disruption. In the grand scheme of things, it is nothing. That is poor perspective. Because I got to tell you, as I'm getting off the plane, I'm like high-fiving the pilot. I'm like, pilot, thank you, buddy. I don't know about you, but I don't like flying on broken airplanes. It's so funny. People always ask me when I fly, they ask the same thing. They're like, hey, how was your flight? Did you have a good flight? And I'm like, yes, it was an awesome flight. And they're always like, really? Well, why was it so great? Did you get upgraded? Did you get free drinks? Did you get to fly the plane? And I'm like, no. It was a great flight because the plane didn't crash. That is my mark of a good flight. I mean, thankfully, I have never had a bad flight. I hope someday to never have a bad flight. But so many people out there are they have such poor perspective. My bad day came that night on the battlefield in Iraq in 2007, when I was all shot up. And that is how I define a bad day. An event that will forever leave physical, mental, or emotional scars on you. That is a bad day. So many other people out there, you just have poor perspective. And it is spiritual leadership that enables you to get outside of yourself and recognize the difference between a schedule disruption and a true bad day. I want you guys to erase that phrase from your vocabulary this Monday. You're going to have hard days. You're going to have tough days. But guess what? If you woke up alive this morning, if you woke up disease-free, if you woke up and you still have a roof over your head, guess what? It is a good day. And it's up to you to make it a great day. Because there are so many people out there that are struggling in this world. So reshape your perspective. Get an understanding that every day is a gift, man. Every day is a gift. And it's up to you to make a difference with it. It is up to you to make it a great day. So no more saying it's a bad day just because you've got a schedule disruption. Guess what? That creates a negative mindset for you, and it creates a negative mindset for the people around you. So instead, take that breath, ask yourself, hey, is this going to leave mental, physical, or emotional scars on me? Or is this merely a schedule disruption that, a couple months from now, I won't even remember? If someone was to ask me about it, I would say, oh, yeah, I kind of remember when my flight got delayed, or yeah, I kind of remember when my car broke down, or whatever it is. In the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. So this Monday and this month in March, I want you to start working on that spiritual leadership. I want you to start working on that perspective. I want you to volunteer. I want you to make a donation to an organization that you believe in. I want you to give a little bit bigger of yourself and understand there's a whole nother world out there beyond just this little world that you live in. And guess what? When you start to do that and your spiritual leadership grows, it gives you an appreciation for the other problems in the world. And it allows you to take a breath and say, you know what? This ain't that bad. This is a schedule disruption. I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to be positive and relentless and pick up the people around me, because that is what leaders do. All right, guys. This is what's up on this Monday Muster. March, focus on that spiritual leadership. Focus on building that perspective. Get out into this world, volunteer, give back. Next week and for the rest of the month, we'll be talking about other aspects of spiritual leadership. But if you live your life this way, if you have great perspective, when things go wrong, you'll tell yourself, it's no big deal. No bad days. Okay, that's it for Monday Muster. Get out there, crush this week. Get off that X. Get off that X, lead yourself. Remember, 3 components: leadership, discipline, overcome mindset. Those are the 3 things that are going to move the needle in your life. So I wish the best for all of you, and get out there and crush this week. I am out.